Hello and welcome to my channel. This is my first FlossTube. I haven't FlossTubed before on my channel, obviously, and I thought I would share this with you. Now, you may have heard a few other creators talk about this, and I heard about it and ordered most of the kit, not all of the kit, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So this is a stitch along, and this is for the Cunning cross stitch stitch along, and the object of this is it's a Harry Potter themed stitch along, and it's being run by a guy called Stuart Cunningham, hence the cunning in the name. So Stuart has created this idea. He's had his test stitchers, and they have come up with this design of Harry Potter's Hogwarts letters that you can see just above me. So I have ordered floss, which are the mandatory colours. I haven't ordered the optional colours, and I ordered fabric from Misty of I will get her correct name, but I will put it into the details as well. Just give me a second. It's Misty Johnson, Mystic Hand Dyed Cross Stitch Fabrics. Now, wait until you see this. This is, I don't know which one to go for first. Seriously, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? All right. The fabric that I ordered is a special fabric. She does these treats. Fun Dip, Cherry Yum, Diddly Dip. You know those, I don't know what you call them. They're like musk sweets, and you dip them into the powder. I haven't had one of those since I was a kid. And I asked her for some Froggers. I'll try and show you what those are in a second as well. Alright. Excuse me, I'm going to have a sip of tea. Alright, she has created these fabrics. Well, not really created the fabric, she has dyed the fabrics. But she has dyed the fabrics and cut them to size for the stitch along. Now, the other term you might be familiar with is a stitch your own adventure, and I don't know how the SYOA changed to be soya, but that's what it's affectionately known as, is soya. Sorry, just a second, and I will get a remote and turn sorry, it was just a little bit too loud. Oh my goodness. Alright, so sorry, Misty has done these pieces. Now these pieces are big. These are 27 by 27 to fit this project. This is her pattern with the linen. I'm scared. I've never actually worked with linen before. I've usually only ever worked with Ada, and even then it's probably only ever been 14 count. So this is a little bit new. It's a little bit scary. I have this big baby up here of a hoop. I think it's well, I won't guess. It is a 22 internal size hoop, 22 centimeters. So what's that? That's, I don't know, 12, 13, I think it was 13 inches that I ordered. Not necessarily for this project, it was actually initially for another one. I did try and start another one. It turned out to be the Stitchalongers Mother Bitches kind of project, and it turned out to be the Golden Girls. And because I was already into it late, I found out it was the Golden Girls, and it was like, oh, sorry, can't do that. So I stayed part of the group and got to know Jessie. Hi, Jessie. And she's been a wonderful captain for us, so this is Rachel's fault that I'm doing this now, because she heard about it maybe a month or two ago. They started out. This is all prep time happening at the moment. So this is the time where you sew your banner. So there is the castle, there's the Hogwarts train, there is 2 owls, there's a wand, there are the 4 house colours, and there is frames for the letters. So the letters are going to come down here, and there's 6 letters, I think, from memory, with the kind of vellum edging, so it's dark brown and some light colours and everything else. And this is a huge work. It's something like 300 pages, so it's, I don't know, it's like, yeah, don't print it out kind of thing. I haven't found a PDF thingamajiggy that works just yet. I have actually tried, oh goodness, what have I tried? I've tried Pattern Keeper, and Pattern Keeper doesn't like the pattern, and that's a little bit disappointing. Yeah, so I'm kind of muddling along. I may have to end up doing it on paper, which would be really disappointing if I can't get it to read on a PDF reader. So I might post a question of how to do it. Now, these are my froggers. Now, ooh, oh, it must be a bit of glue. Oh, okay. Right. A frogger is a needle for frogging. It's not complicated. It's got an end to cushion it. It's being glued onto a needle, possibly even a sewing needle, because it's got a bigger thing. That's really, really cool. Misty makes these. I'll show you in a close-up, and what I might actually do is, I might actually take a picture, because that's, it's a frog for a frogging. So yeah, it was a cute idea. And it comes in a cotton ball for you to pierce through, and then it comes packed up in a little bag, and yeah, that's my frogger. Now I can use, and I have used, cover minders for holding my needle for my needle minders. Oh, I'll actually check if the frog will stick, because I might use some of my bigger, yeah, okay, so I might use some of my bigger, I've got this, and well, that thing is in the way, it'll stick and it will hold it as a needle minder. So that's the intention, although with the frogger I will probably pierce it through the fabric at the edge, or something, just to keep it secure, because the frogger is going to be used less often than a needle. Last time I cross-stitched properly was when my eldest was a baby, and that was over 25 years ago. And then I've done the little bit with my Golden Girls project before I've decided I'm too far behind and I'm not into the Golden Girls for having a project, and I'll just watch along instead of participating as a cross stitcher. Although I did do one of the challenges, I did do I Love Blends, because I actually like what Emma did with the blends. She got a lot of flack for it, but I actually loved the blending and the effects that it gave. So this is my floss. This is purchased online in Australia, because brick and mortar store prices here are double the price. So these are the mandatory colours. These will be used in the kit. So I think what the done thing is, and I don't know, what's allowed, what's not allowed, to be honest, but people get the floss and toss it on the fabric and see if it fits. So yeah, there you go. Yes, they're the mandatory colours. I think these browns are the things that go on the edges of the thing. The Hogwarts Express are the reds, and the castle is mostly greens from what I've seen, although there is one of the girls in the group who has come up with another pattern. She's had other things that she's doing recently. So I'm not sure if it's widely used or just a few people got in quick and they were able to get this pattern in a castle. It's slightly different and it's in grey, and she's done something different with the windows. So this is completely improvisable, this project. The idea being that when it comes to the wand, you have the end of the wand and you have the handle of the wand. You toss a dice for the end of the wand and you toss a dice for the handle of the wand. That gives you the styles. And then you toss a dice again for the colour of the wood. Unless, of course, you're in Pottermore and you're already a geek and you have the wand already chosen and you've selected your house with the sorting hat, and that might work with where you position your colours of the houses across the top. Each of the images within the 6 letters are images. They're not writing letters or anything like that. They all reflect the story of Harry Potter. There is a blog that Stuart has done that you can read through how he came up with the idea, how he came up with the design, the team that's working with him, the whole story and the premise of why certain things are on this canvas already and why we're not choosing them in the future. So I think this gets us to Hogwarts, this draft, I suppose, the outline, the framework. So you've got the train that takes you to Hogwarts, you've got Hogwarts Castle, you've got the owls. I'm not quite sure why there's 2, and I think we get to choose which of the owls, so I'm not sure if he chose Hedwig and one of the other owls, or if we get to actually pick which owl, because I think people have been improvising. So none of these are really going to be the same at all. They're basically going to be the same framework, and that's about it. And once we get into the optional stuff, where you're throwing dice a little more and you're doing more of the stitch your own adventure, it's really going to take all those different tangents, and yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. So this is a 2-year project, I think Stuart was saying. So we've got the prelim work now, and on January 1 the first letter is released. We're going to have 2 months to work on that before the next letter is released. What he's going to do is, in between the letter releases, the month in between, he's actually going to do a behind the scenes info and share with us how he came about doing whichever design we're up to, or that kind of thing. So yeah, it's really, really cool. It's an awesome group. Everyone is working away at their own pace and sharing, and the only thing I was waiting for was my fabric, which is here, so I can throw out the Golden Girls. I also have a Q-snap. I have an 11-inch Q-snap, and I got a grime guard that I was going to work on with the Golden Girls. So I may use the Q-snap, or I may use my bamboo hoop. I don't have a cover for the bamboo hoop, so the grime guard is probably more suited to it, although it is a little bit smaller in workspace, but it should be okay for the patterns that I need. The other thing that I did note, some people are gridding or grodding, and there was mention that it doesn't really matter if you don't grid, because it's not meant to line up the way that you maybe think it does, or you know, you might work on this bit, but then when you come down here it actually doesn't matter if it's slightly off. So I'm thinking I might not grid. I need to get, apparently there's a silver thread we can use for gridding so that it slides out really easily. I need to go to my Spotlight store and get that. What else? Oh, for those in the know, I got 4010 in stock, not a problem, from Itchy Stitchy. Itchy Stitchy is my local, I suppose, Australian wholesale store. For all things thread. You can actually just fax them through your list and they'll just get it together and organise sending it out to you. I got the less plastic option, and hence I think it comes in the tissue paper and the brown kind of cardboardy envelope. presents really, really well. Second time I've ordered from them, and I'm really, really pleased. Shipping is maybe a week. It's not exactly the swiftest, and it takes a couple of days for the order to go through, but yeah, it's okay. If I was desperate for it, so for the optional pieces, I might maybe be a little bit more anxious, but I don't really want to go out and buy the extra 30 skein option. I don't think I've bought them yet, but yeah. What else? Maybe I might have bought them to build my floss stock. It doesn't say how much of this we will use. It did when we were doing the TicWatch project. They actually said if you're going to use 10 inches or 12 inches or 20 inches for each of the floss, but that doesn't bother me. All my other cross-stitch kits are pretty much made to measure. And one day I may do a stash video on that one. I actually store them, coincidentally enough, in an old nappy bag that was my eldest's. And they're all, you know, pre-sorted. The one I was working on last was actually on Black Ada, and it was a wolf scene. And it was so many greys, and I didn't grid, and I didn't know anything about gridding or anything back then. I was just trying this on my own. I subscribed to a crafty, you know those, I think it's a monthly magazines that you get, and you build up your folder and you end up with, I don't know, 10 big A4 foolscap folder kind of things. Yeah, one of those. Yeah. So I got lots of kits out of that. I got lots of the tiny little dinky cards, and you know, those micro projects that some people seem to be able to whip up in a day. So I've got lots of those, and I've got some bigger projects, but never knew I could do anything like something like a heaven and earth design. Always thought they were going to be like samplers, or yeah, didn't interest me doing samplers really. Yeah, this kind of thing, this interests me. So I will continue to do floss videos and show you how my progress is going, and you know, like I say, do a stash or whatever else. But wanted to show you this one. So this is cunning. What was it again? I'll get the group. Not that one. Not that one. Cunning cross stitch, stitch along, something like that. Yep, cunning cross stitch SAL group, stitch along group on Facebook. And as I said, he also has a blog that the Facebook group refers you to, and that's also updated, and all the information is there for the project and everything else that you need to do. So if you would like to join us, you still have heaps and heaps of time. As I said, this is a long for me anyway, a long project. It's 2 years. It is a long project. It is very much, you do it at your own pace. There is no pressure, no deadlines or anything like that. Links will be in my description down the bottom. So please go check out the description if you're interested. And yeah, thank you for joining me on my first ever FlossTube. And well, this is going to be a learning process for me, because yeah, cross stitch is a new thing, and I don't want to cross stitch at my desk, so filming might be a bit of an issue. Might be to be something I work out as we go, and lighting is also going to be an issue over at the couch. So yeah, lots of things for me to learn. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If you enjoy diamond painting, which is kind of the sister hobby of cross stitch, that's predominantly what I do. So if you would like to check out my other videos, it's mostly going to be unboxings, and there's a few whip and chats, and I will be getting more whip and chats as I go, and potentially we'll be doing the whip and chats with the cross stitch and the diamond painting, and I don't know, who knows where it leads. It might go into technical know-how and how to film and how to record stuff and how to find things, and I don't know. We'll see where my geeky interests might take me, and yeah, you can come along for the ride. So if you would like to, please hit like, please hit subscribe, come and join me, and I will see you around on the tubes. Thanks for watching. Bye.